Yo, what's good, people, man? Yo, I want to holler at y'all about Gunna real quick, man. Now, we know that the boy is a famous rapper and he did everything he was going to do in the music industry. But did he really throw his homies under the bus? Did he trick on 28 guys? They asked him a bunch of questions when he was at the courtroom yesterday, which you could probably find online. And it's he had a lot to say. Well, in the answering of yes and no, like and subscribe to. But he basically wrote down or answered these questions for the court so he can become free. And they asked him questions that was really incriminating for the rest of the guys. It sounded like it was questions that was just going to let him be free. But he actually probably knew it going in. His lawyers probably told him, hey, this is just another form of snitching. But what he did is he pled for what they call, in my state, a no contest. But in their state, they call it an Alfred plea, which is basically saying that you got all the information you got against me and you can basically convict me on this crime, but I don't want to plead guilty to it. So I'll just take an Alfred plea or I'll plead no contest, and then you just choose to do what you're going to do, which obviously means you're going to convict me, because that's what you came to do anyway, is convict me. So that's what they do. They give you an Alfred plea and then they convict you on this crime, and then you go down because you committed a crime, whatever the crime is in question. His crime is a RICO. That means other people is involved. A lot of other guys got pulled in on this same issue with him. So it's really a tough pill to swallow. You can go down for that. So I think for him, making that mistake was just bad. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about it with y'all, man. And that's basically what I want to do today, man. Talk to you about Gunna and his situation with his is that a snitch situation, which a lot of people online believe it is. They believe he snitched. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be hard to have a career. You think he can have a career after that? Y'all got to tell me in the comment section. You know, you think that the other guy who he snitched on, he got a raw deal. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like Gunna benefited from being in the gang. Like, the gang had beneficial things to him, whatever it was. Like, because I'm not in the gang with him, so I don't know what the hell he was benefiting from it. But for him to be a part of it, he had to be benefiting something. You know what I'm saying? But he went in and he decided to, you know what I'm saying, be a part of that gang. And then and they call it YSL, Young Slime Life. And then for 12 years, 10 years, the police was just basically on their butt. But, you know, he's actually a famous guy. That guy, Gunna, is famous. It's another guy who was on the case with him, and that guy pled guilty too. But he pled guilty like a day earlier. He pled guilty on Tuesday. Apparently, it was 3 guys who ran it: Gunna, Young Thug, and there's another kid. He was also the third guy who ran the operation with them. I gotta look his name up real quick. But he's the third guy who was operating the whole gang with them, and that's what he claimed. When he did the exact same plea. I mean, everything that Gunna did, this guy did the same thing. I just want to look up leaders. The third guy name was Jaden Myrick. DK is what they call him. Yeah, No, that's another kid. That's another kid. That's his name. No, that's another kid. Slime Life Shorty. That's his buddies. But it was another kid that's on the charges with them, and he got released too. I was trying to find his name. But y'all probably heard of him or will hear him. I don't see his name right up here, but he was actually free too. He's a third member that's a part of that gang, you know what I'm saying? So that dude did the same thing. So you got basically 2 guys that's under YSL, that's the leaders, which is Gunna. So I want to talk about it with y'all, man. And that's basically what I want to do today, man. Hold up, y'all. Gunna and the other guy, he basically about Gunna and his situation. Hold up. Is that a snitch situation, which a lot of people... you see me trying to do the audio for my I'm trying to do the audio as well for my video that we recording right here, but it just stopped on me. It looked like it won't grab it no more. I'm bugging out like, what the hell? Thought you could continue to edit. Oh no, you got to drag the timeline. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right, let's hit that and hit record again.
That's what I'm talking about it with y'all, man. And that's basically what I want to do today.
It won't play. All right, let's get back to us over here. You and I. So anyway, that's what I was just noticing. I said that boy tricked too. So, and then in court yesterday, I watched the video. You saw the boy Young Thug. He basically got his case thrown out. I mean, not the whole case thrown out. Young Thug got the case regarding his. They did a search in his house. Upon that search, they found a lot of shit, and they thought that stuff that they found should be held against him. So his lawyer had to go to court and say, you can't use this shit against him. And that's what he was fighting, to make sure that they didn't put that shit in court, because they did some foul shit, really. They came and got the stuff on him, the information against him, but they came inside his house illegally. They basically did an illegal search. And so his lawyer had to fight it, but it was hard to get it thrown out, because you have to have the judge acknowledge that shit. The judge got to be the one who be like, nah, this is wrong. Go. All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. This your boy Hood, man. I'm just hitting y'all up about YSL, your boy Gunna. Is he a snitch? Did he snitch? All right, so at this point, we talking about did he snitch on his homie and make sure he got himself free and leave the other guy in there really messed up, because right now they just threw out some evidence for him. They threw out evidence that the cops came in there and got an illegal search, but during this illegal search they found guns, they found drugs, so they felt like, yo, we got him, and they put this on this case. But the case of when they came in there to find the drugs initially, it wasn't for this case. It was for something else. And so they basically was trying to carry it over a little bit, like being like, well, we already got this evidence from his home. We're going to use this in this new case. And so the judge was supposed to go in there and look at that. But what happened was another judge, which is the judge from the prior case that they initially had this search connected to, he already threw that evidence out. He said it was obtained wrong. There's a whole nother judge and a whole nother case for the same person. But the prosecution wanted to bring that evidence in, which is the same house that he lived in, into this case. And his judge or his lawyer was like, you can't do that, because another judge already said it was inadmissible. So this judge had to look at that and make sure that he decided and determined if it was going to be left or kept in. And so he ultimately decided yesterday, that they got to throw that out, which is evidence is incriminating as hell. They caught guns, they caught drugs, they caught all kind of shit inside his house, which would considerably make you seem to be looking like a damn drug kingpin or a gangster. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they found. And so he was like, well, yo, hold up. If y'all found that shit in my motherfucking house, then how did you get in my house? What gave you the right to come in my crib and search? And when you talk about a house, especially a millionaire house, you always got to look at this component. It's a lot of people coming in and out. You got family members, you got people who work there, you got workers who might be doing contracting, you got just all kind of people who could be coming to your house. It's parties there, it's fucking meetings there. It's just all kind of family members who bring in people who don't know. So when you talk about guns, drugs, and all that in a mansion, you really have to know who the fuck got access to this mansion, because it could be a number of people. It could be people who trying to set them up and just bring that shit in. But when you have people who trying to already say you're a gang leader, then you also got guns and drums sitting at the crib. Well, how you gonna fight that? How you gonna say, I'm not a gang leader, I don't have guns and drugs sitting in my house, I don't know what that is. Somebody else brought that. Well, it's gonna be hard to claim that if you're a gang leader like they claiming he is. So that's the thing. It's like, how does he fix this questionable lifestyle that he been living, especially as a rapper? But when the other guy going, now he ain't a boy, he a grown ass man. When he go in there and tell, he basically goes in and confirms that this guy is a drug kingpin, that he does run an operation, and he's also a part of that operation. So yeah, it got him out of jail, but it also set the other guy up for complete failure, because now when he go to court, what can he say? That guy lying? That's what he gotta say. His lawyers gotta go in there and say his court starts January 9th, January 8th next month. His lawyers gotta go in there and say, that guy is a snitch, and that guy will do anything to get out of jail, because they held him in jail without bond for 8 months, 7 to 8 months, and then he'll do anything to get out. The guy, which is Gunna, also got caught in the jail with drugs. So if how am I a drug kingpin and the motherfucker y'all got out was also getting drugs in prison? Like, we locked up. This motherfucker getting drugs in jail? Like, what the fuck? But y'all saying I'm a drug kingpin? So with them not being able to admit that drugs and guns that they found at his house, how you gonna be able to prove he a drug kingpin? You have to use the information and evidence or basically the conversation or the testimony from people who snitches. And so that's gonna be hard to do when you talking about a multi-millionaire rapper. You ain't gonna be able to bring no fake ass people who snitched on him because he gonna have them lawyers that's gonna be able to eat them out. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Pause. Is gonna be able to eat them up, and he gonna be able to be like, yo, why did you tell? Oh, I told because I didn't want drugs and gangs a part of my life no more. Well, then why didn't you quit before this? The getting caught made me understand my ways. So why would you bring this guy down if you found out that your ways was wrong? He was the leader of the gang. Did he force you to come around? No. Did he force you to do drugs? No. Did he force you to buy drugs? No. Who money did you buy the drugs with? I bought it with my own money. Okay, so how could you blame him for you purchasing something that you want? Did you also get caught for bringing drugs into the jail? Yes. This guy didn't get caught bringing drugs into the jail. Why is it that you're claiming that he's this, that, and the other? But his prosecution gonna have all kind of shit for a thug, because when they go in there, they recording your phone calls. So they'll be able to come back and say, well, he admitted to his family that he was on drugs and he needed rehab. So he's not a saint and he's not this and he's not that. But what we need to do is, instead of trying to worry about what the prosecution's talking about, we got to discredit those guys that already pled guilty, because they the ones who claim that this is a motherfucking drug operation. They claim that already. So now, when you go to court, that's what the fuck they gonna be trying to figure out if they lying about. If this a drug operation, it ain't shit to talk about. They gonna try to lock your ass up. But they found drugs in his house, so to a lot of people would claim it's a drug operation until the lawyer or the judge said you can't admit that. You can't bring the fact that he had drugs in his crib into court because you didn't have a legal right to be in his house. So it's almost like somebody found out about what you up to, and now they mad about it, and they want to lock you up for it, but they doing it wrong. They going about it just because they mad. They not doing it the legal way to get you to stop doing what you're doing or to lock you up. They not doing it the legal way. So they got him already in jail, and they got evidence on him, and they just throwing it at him. They not doing it the right way where you're supposed to present it so that he can stay in prison. They just throwing it, and it's not sticking because you're not presenting it correctly. You not, especially if it's inadmissible. But again, when you're black and they figure like, hey, fuck you anyway. All we need this judge to do is just turn his eyes on this. Now, they say the wheels of justice turn slowly. So what does that mean? That mean that he'll still probably get himself out of jail if they throwing in fake evidence. But it'll be a long time coming. It'll be an appeal, it'll be a conviction, and it'll be all that first. And then you'll start the appeal process while you sitting your ass in prison. The thing is, why that's not happening to him so fast is because he's rich. He got millions of dollars. But that also happened to Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, where they just throw the damn evidence on you and then you find your ass in prison. If we did it wrong, we'll holler at you at the appeal. So he's trying to stop that ahead of time, because I'm sure they not offering him no 1 year off, or like the other guys. They all had, the two guys who already admitted to the crime, they all had 2 years. I'm sorry, 5 years left to go, 3 years left to go, and shit like that. So they technically didn't really have to goddamn it snitch, because they was only doing 2 or 3 years. Normally when you hear about these kind of crimes, motherfuckers doing 50, 30, 25, so they like, I'm not doing that kind of time. I will fucking tell on whoever. But these guys like, oh, 500 hours of community service is what you got left. It's like, huh? I thought they was a goddamn criminal enterprise. What the hell you mean? Yeah, you time served. What you mean time served? He did 7 months in jail. Well, yeah, because we ain't trying to lock him up. We want the other guy. They always want the kingpin, or who everybody is claiming is the kingpin. That's why it's really hard to be around that or working inside that world, man, because when the gauntlet come down on you, man, I can imagine what it was like sitting. I can't imagine personally, but for that guy, Gunna, it was too much for him. He said, fuck this jail shit, fuck this crime, I'm out. And he ran to the goddamn exit door to get the fuck out of jail. And so, and the other guy did too. So it looked like the kingpin is the Young Thug. That's the kingpin because he's the only one still locked up, and he's the only one dealing with this shit. See the hip hop community coming around him and trying to, you know, say his name and, you know, free Young Thug and all that shit, but you know that don't ever do nothing. And they also castigating motherfucking the other boy, like dissing the shit out of him, like you a snitch, like you a whole what that boy name 69, like you a 6'9" motherfucker, like damn. And that's bad for his career and his brand because I'm sure when he signed up to be a YSL gang member back in the day, he didn't expect it to go down so bad because he was really successful. All those guys was, you know, especially the rappers. I'm saying Young Thug, they were very successful in the rap industry, like extreme. But I think Young Thug came at it as if he was a gay person at first, and then he switched to said he was a man. So I think that probably is another reason why they came so hard at him as far as trying to lock him up because one time he was gay, then one time he ain't gay. You know, these people don't play with that kind of shit, you know. You gotta let me know in the comment section, man. Is Young Thug gonna get free? Is Gunna a snitch? Is the other guy, who I can't think of his name, y'all probably know his name, that was with him, the third leader, is he a snitch? He's not a rapper though, that's why I don't know his name. So, but this is just a case coming out of Atlanta, and it's crazy, man. Fulton County, y'all gotta let me know because, you know, I made some jokes and shit. I love comedy, you know what I mean, about it on my channel. You know, this channel right here on my shorts, and they doing pretty good. But at the end of the day, it is tough because you really are telling them and you putting somebody else's life away like that. That's really what snitching makes it so bad. And it's like, don't do the crime. Don't even be involved in that shit. If when they put you under that thing, you gonna be afraid like that. Just don't do crime. Like that's not your thing. You know what I'm saying? You got so much other shit that you can be a part of in this world, and to choose crime and then ultimately just go telling everybody, not exactly the way you do it. That's not how criminality, in my opinion, work. You know, you're supposed to, like in the movies, you're supposed to get away with the crime. Everybody win, or you get out of jail in the future and you go to the bank thing where you hid the money and you get it and all that. But it's really not like that in real life. In real life, you sit your ass in prison forever, and the people who got the money and kept the money, they keep it away from you until they die. And you just be getting out of jail as an old man and didn't get nothing. So that's why they say crime don't pay. So that's it, man. Like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all checking me out. My new songs is out, under Yusef 2 times on all platforms. And this your homie signing off. Peace.